This is a 2019 Chrysler 300, and today we're going to see how it's held up over time. This is our 2019 Chrysler 300. Today we're going to look at if this is a vehicle that you should consider buying. These do come in all sorts of configurations. This one is the V6, that is rear-wheel drive. You can also get them in an all-wheel drive, which I think is super nice, especially if you live somewhere like we do in Idaho, where we do get quite a bit of snow. Having that all-wheel drive option is nice, because that all-wheel drive equipped with, around 300 horsepower, which I think is what the all-wheel drives have, because it comes in the S and the limited models. You actually get something that's pretty competent on the roads and really fun to drive, but also if you just want to cruise, it makes for a great cruiser. All right, now moving on to the interior, this is the base model trim. And so you're getting base model everything, but it's still pretty nicely equipped for a daily driver. You get some leather here, leatherish, quote unquote, on the door panel right here as well. Power everything on the side. You do have cloth seats in here, which are actually really, really comfortable. Your gauge cluster is part digital, part analog. You have your RPMs there, as you can see in analog, and then also your speedometer. Tire pressure light comes factory, don't worry about that. Moving here to the gear selector, this is probably my only gripe that I really have with this vehicle. I'm not a huge fan of these. I actually preferred the shifter that they had before. That was more like a BMW, where it kind of flicks and goes into gear that way. I thought that was just overall a better look for it and kind of give it that more mean and aggressive feeling when you were driving. This, not the biggest fan of, but I think it works fantastic. The infotainment screen here offers a ton of different options. You can get these equipped with heated steering wheels, heated seats. Your climate control is all through here, which is a plus, but also a minus as well. It can be a little burdensome to get to if you're listening to your music and you want to go and, change it to defrost or something like that. You do have to go into the climate control in order to do that. You still have the option to change your fan speed and your temperature down here and turn on your rear frost and everything. So your main controls are right there, but I wish we still had some physical buttons here just for ease of use. Going through, like I said, you still have Bluetooth that you can use as well on it, and these do come available with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto as well. The backup camera is okay quality. It's not the best, especially for being a 2019, but I do like the size of the screen. It being bigger gives you better visibility all the way around, and you also have the guides on there with the sensors, and so it's something that's really nice to have for the price range that you're buying this in. As we move down here, we can see that it's actually held up pretty nice over time, considering this has 143,000 miles on it. This isn't really worn, and that happens a lot. You have more USB controls as well as power outlets down in there. You have your cup holders. Things that I do start to see is this chrome peeling right here, and I think this is pretty common on most cars, to be honest. I had a Volkswagen, and I've seen some Audis as well and other luxury brands where this chrome just starts to peel up, especially on high traction areas where you're going to be touching it a lot. You do get some more storage down in here with the 12-volt outlet. This thing tends to stick a little bit. Looks like somebody must have pulled on it or something right there. But overall, this actually has, been treated fairly well, and I think it's in pretty good shape considering this is a 6-year-old vehicle now. We are missing a little piece right here. It looks like they probably had to get it towed at some point, because you actually pull this up to put it into neutral if this piece won't engage. And to add to the gangster-esque feeling of this vehicle and the classiness, you still do get an analog clock. And adding to the classiness of this vehicle, you still get an analog clock, which I think is pretty nice. Moving on to the back seat, it's really nice being able to actually fit a human in the back seat. I have kids with car seats as well, and so a ton of room here, a good 6 inches plus of leg room, and I feel super comfortable. Headroom, minimal. If you're around 6 foot, you're probably going to hit your head and feel a little bit cramped, but not too bad. You do still get some features back here, even though it's the base model. You get your USB outlets, your own climate control as well, at least your vents anyways. And it overall is a pretty nice area to be in. You don't feel super cramped or anything. You of course have your flip down cup holder here and armrest. And overall, if I was in college and wanted a vehicle to drive around that was going to be sporty and fun and able to fit all my friends, I think this would be a great vehicle. And speaking of using it for college, it has a massive amount of trunk space in here. I'll have to post up the actual cubic inches of it, but you are definitely able to fit all your luggage in here for 4 people and able to take it to the airport if you needed to, or just fit all your stuff out for if you're going out for the weekend. You do get some nice little features in here, like some grocery bag holders right here on each side, and then down at the bottom is where you'll have your spare tire and your battery sits. At $13,950, this thing is basically being sold for $14,000. And for having only 140,000 miles on it, I think it has a lot to offer, especially compared to the competition. You have good technology, you have good power, you have space, and overall, you have look. So a lot of the cars, especially in this segment, they do not really look good. And I think this one, by far, beats them out on that. But you guys, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Is this a vehicle that you would drive for yourself? Once again, thanks for watching. And if you guys have any comments or questions, feel free to ask them down below.